like he's outside. Hi, Pete. So let's just start with Maki, and as we go, as people join and as we get going, we're gonna, we'll just allow each person to kind of talk. So I would say keep it to about a minute or so, please.
Okay. Hi, my name is Maki DeLate with Edge Cyber, current president of the Wheat Ridge Business Association. My husband and I own a technology company. We do a digital marketing and web design and hosting. We've been in business since 1998, so it's what, 22 years?
Oh my God, I had no idea it was that long.
So,
wow.
Yeah, some company called Google started the same year we did, so we kind of grew in different directions. But yes,
those little guys.
So yeah, but we've been in Wheat Ridge ever since we started, and we also live in Wheat Ridge as well. So this is a great city, and I just like the people who, all the people who are in it as well. So, okay, next.
So my name is Emily Green. I own Chibo Meals, which is meals that are prepared and ready to eat in a mason jar. And it's CIBO, it's the Italian word for food. So maybe Lee, when you go, you'll learn that. That's all you need to really know is, vino, cibo, and bagno, which is bathroom. And then you'll be fluent in Italian. And I've been in business now for going on 4 years. I think it'll be 4 years in October. And just, I love it. I love this community. We were just definitely my, where I sell the most and where I interact the most. I live right on the cusp. I'm technically Denver, but my goal is to move and be a Wheat Ridge resident someday. So yeah, it's just been, it's been a lot of fun to get to know people and do a lot of events. I just saw that Kate logged on with Local Works, and they're one of we do a lot of partnershiping together. I do a lot of catering for them and stuff. So whenever catering picks up, which that was a big part of my business until COVID. So yeah, it's been great. Okay, let's go to Sam and Lynn, please.
Hello, everybody. So I've been to a number of different Wheat Ridge Business Association's live events, and this has actually been a little bit since we're able to join as a virtual event. And this is my husband, Dr. Sam's first WRBA event, woohoo! And
welcome, finally.
Yeah. And so we're going to do a little bit more intro in our presentation shortly. So we're just going to keep ours short and simple. Is there anything you want to add, or?
Yeah, the fourth Italian word I know is pizza.
And that's all you really need, but that's good addition to vocabulary.
Oh, and our state of mind. My state of mind, I'm excited. So, yeah.
Okay, good.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, Lee, let's go to you.
Yeah. Well, first off, thanks for letting me join in as a guest. I do appreciate it. I also live right on the cusp of the Denver Wheat Ridge area. Wheat Ridge has definitely got a soft spot in my heart, especially Wheat Ridge Bowling. That might be like my stomping grounds, I'd say, once that opens back up.
Yeah, I was wondering if it opened or not, because I saw they were doing takeout and stuff, but I'm not sure that that's their.
For sure. I've heard like some, you can like alternate lanes or something to that extent, but okay. Who knows? I mean, I'll be very excited once I get like the official word.
Yeah.
So I work for Transworld Business Advisors. We're a business brokerage franchise here in Colorado. We help entrepreneurs like buy and sell businesses and stuff like that, and really prep their businesses for when they get to that point that they do want to sell, whether it's 5 years down the line, 10 years, or today, that we can help them kind of guide and really prepare their business to best be at its highest value to be sold necessarily.
Okay.
And so it's an interesting time, obviously, right now in the industry. Yeah. But we've been finding a lot of being able to help out our small business network a lot, which has been really nice to be able to give back to that. And we've like put together like a resource website for people to help like navigate the CARES Acts and the EIDLs and stuff like that as well.
Right.
But yeah, it's been it's an interesting business for sure, and I truly enjoy it, and being like a small business advocate, it's been yeah, it's a
yeah,
fun.
and we're very much about that in Wheat Ridge. I think, you know, that's the majority of our businesses. And I would say that you and Kate with Local Works, who's right below you on the screen, I hope, maybe, I don't know, on my screen, would be a great connection then if you guys have already put together some information, and she works with the city and they've already put together tons of information. So yeah, that's a great organization to connect with right here, and it's very Wheat Ridge focused. So
yeah, I would love to. Yeah, and it's obviously I mean, they don't make it the easiest read by any means on any of the stuff, and so
no.
We've got a big team that help us get through all that stuff too. So it's been nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. All right, Miss Cheryl.
Hello, everybody. I'm CherylGarcia.com. And so what we do is we provide legal and identity theft services for individuals, for your employees, and for small businesses. So if a small business right now has questions about a lease, a contract, I had a small business this week call me that one of their employees didn't feel comfortable going back to work. What are their rights in that situation? I said, call your attorney. So we got them enrolled in the small business legal plan so they could talk to an attorney. Right before this webinar, I got a call from a woman that I need to call after this meeting. And she's a small business contractor. So she got a call from an employer that said, we want to hire you on a contract basis. And then after the contract's over, we'll hire you as an employee. And she's like, well,
yeah.
I don't know the language. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. And so, you know, she'll have access to the law firm. So Legal Shield provides you with a dedicated law firm in every state. Our law firm is Riggs Abney. It's in Cherry Creek. We have 35 attorneys there. So that's on the small business side. And then on the personal side, you know, a lot of people right now are getting their estate in order. You know, they're doing their wills, their living wills, or healthcare power of attorneys. I had a woman say yesterday to me, you know, I don't want to have, if I get it, the virus, then my husband's going to get it, and I want to deal with this stuff when I'm sick. So it's a monthly fee, it's a monthly membership, it's a subscription, and you can get your will, living will, and healthcare power of attorney done. And then we have identity theft. We don't cause identity theft. What we do is we help you with a monitoring service and a restoration service with private license investigators. Because we're all doing a bunch of stuff at home. Guess what?
Yep.
All your privacy, you may think they're not listening, but they are.
Yep, exactly. And I have I think I have pretty much all of those services with Cheryl, and
yes,
I've been very happy. So, yep. Yeah, so it's very inexpensive, and it's just, I think it's a kind of that safety blanket more than anything as a business owner and as a, you know, just a homeowner and everything. It's very important to, and I have it's amazing some of the scams that I am getting texts and, you know, stuff about right now that are very innovative. And I'm sure I would probably be believing more of them if I wasn't, you know, a little more alert and didn't have something backing me up a little. So, all right, Jeremy, let's go to you.
All right. My name's Jeremy. I am a financial advisor with Edward Jones. Again, cuspy with Wheat Ridge. I live in Denver. My office is in Arvada. I just feel I'm always in Wheat Ridge, basically.
Yep.
When it comes to helping small business owners, something that's kind of got lost in the mix amongst all of this was the tax credits available for new retirement plans for business owners with the Secure Act. So that's something we've been helping people out with. On Carol's note, make sure your financial professionals have your financial POA and your wills and your trusts and everything's titled appropriately. That's something that we've been going a lot in auditing people's accounts just to make sure. Also, make sure you have your healthcare POA on your phone or a copy. Your loved ones know where that is, because if you're rushing to the hospital and they're going to want to see your healthcare POA, and if you don't have it, then you're going to have to either go find it. So having a copy of that on your phone is just, I'm sure Cheryl offers some sort of services for that, easily accessible.
The POA is proof of
power of attorney. Sorry.
Got it. Power of attorney.
Yep. So your financial power of attorney gives
Okay,
that.
perfect.
Yep. So yeah, so we've just been helping people navigate the Secure Act, the CARES Act, everything that's going on, current market conditions, everything from people losing jobs and budgeting to people switching jobs and helping them move their money to either their new 401k or IRAs. So here to help however we can.
Great, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to Kate with LocalWorks. Kate is their executive director, and I love your back. Oh, wait, you told us where this was, right? This is in Montana?
No, Stanley Lake.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, so not far at all.
Right up, yeah,
Yep.
right up the street from me. But they have like giants,
Birds?
Canadian geese.
Yeah.
I know. And it's funny, the city of Westminster did a really fun community engagement program last year where you could try and find eggs, dinosaur eggs for the Loch Ness Monster, and could you see it? And then you could track a Yeti. It was a lot of fun. So, and they had like artistic eggs that you could find, glass eggs and stuff. So we didn't find anything, but that definitely looks like a Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, I'm LocalWorks. We are a local nonprofit here in Wheat Ridge, primarily focused around economic development. We partner with the city of Wheat Ridge, our Wheat Ridge businesses, the Business Association, the Chamber to do anything that we can to support local business and also connect those businesses with the community to build community support and identity as well. So we sort of live in that world. I call it economic vitality because we have that economic development piece. So we do have some loan programs, some business assistance programs, but then we do a lot of community building as well, which ultimately contributes to vitality. And there was a question, right, that I missed because I was late. Sorry.
I don't know. I was just thinking that maybe you and Lee should connect because he's talking about some of the resources that his company has as well. Was there something, Moss?
Yeah.
And the state of your mind. I forgot.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. State of your mind.
Oh, state of my mind. I swing. I go from being super, super excited and making lots of notes and stuff to feeling overwhelmed. So I go into the other part, like, so it's like this like try thing where I get like really discouraged. So yeah, I try to avoid the news because that definitely brings me down. But yeah, I love to celebrate the businesses in Wheat Ridge. And I guess my my most recent heartwarming story about a business in Wheat Ridge, we were going through the business stabilization grant applications, which can be heartbreaking because these are our neighbors, our businesses, the lifeblood of our community, and the impact is huge. And so we get to the craft box application, and the toll that you could or apply for was $5,000, which is a drop in the bucket for what businesses need in the middle of this. And she put in an application for $234 for the plexiglass things, and it was so.
That's a great idea though, because that stuff is expensive.
And and so Steve said. So Steve had me get a hold of her to channel her into the business reopening assistance program. Yeah. Better there. But it was just so heartwarming because it's like this, like raining down, everything's horrible. And she's like, just get $250.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's a fellow member. That's a fellow member of ours. And the craft box is on 44th and like just a little bit west of Harlan, and just, a really fun place. And she's trying to come up with like all these ideas and things to do to engage people. And she keeps like, the other day she mentioned something and she was like, oh, but we might need more than 10 people for that. And it's just like, she's very numbers oriented, I think. So, which is great, Yeah.
We did a class with her. We did a recycled banner apron class.
Oh, yes, I saw that. I wanted to do it, but it was full because 10 people,
10 people.
All right, Mr. Coffee Man. All right. Thanks, Kate. All right, Pete, take it away.
Unmute. There we go. I hope you can hear me all right.
You can. It looks like you're sitting somewhere lovely.
I am broadcasting from my backyard in Old Littleton and surveying our farm. We are our raised bed gardens are properly irrigated now and showing promise, and our chickens are happy, and we have a beehive. So,
oh, cool.
Yeah, so we have 10,000 bees, 5 chickens, and 1 dog, and a whole lot of plants showing up. So yeah, how fun! Thank you, Lynn and Sam, for bringing this forward today, and Emily for kind of being our MC and host. And wow, this is so fun. Haven't seen some of you for some time, and just you know. Gosh,
it's going to be so weird to see everybody in person soon. And we'll all be wearing masks. So we're only going to see this part of our face, you know?
Oh, well, I've already picked out a new cologne that I'm going to wear. So, all right. I'm looking forward to this. Yeah, well, I think I kind of missed a little bit of the early intro, but I guess I'm taking everybody sort of introducing themselves and sharing a little bit what their mindset is and how they're feeling about things. And well, I'm Peter DeWolf. I'm the owner of the Red Rocks Toffee Company, and some of you may know this, but we also have another brand. It's the Steamboat Toffee Company, and that's where we started in Steamboat Springs. And in the midst of all this lunacy, we looks like we've got two new vendors, retailers coming on stream in Steamboat shortly. So we're just negotiating some things, and that is a drugstore and a diner. And so they both have, so we'll be doing bulk sales to them for toffee to be used up in their process sort of stuff, their soda fountain kind of deal, and then box product. And so that's our Steamboat Toffee brand. And then with the Red Rocks, well, it's been a little tough, but I've seen some movement. You know, we've been doing the custom branding, and you know, this time more than at this point, more than anything, you know, people are finding sharing something that's yummy with someone and connecting up. It's working like a little bit of a social glue, I guess. You know, so we're really helpful for that. So yeah. So I'm feeling optimistic that, you know, it's just a matter of sticking to it, sticking to your knitting, and I don't know. I find relationships are I don't know. It's just a hardship. Sometimes when things are a little difficult, we band together and reach out to one another. And I'm finding that, you know, the relationships all around me are becoming richer, and I appreciate that very much.
It's good to recognize that too, for sure.
Yeah,
we're all in our own bubbles, and then you think about those kind of things, and it
exactly. Yeah, we've been playing music across the fence here at the house, you know, and the neighbors have been joining in. They did a live stream with their band not so long ago, kind of just a duo. And yeah, it's just we're talking to more people and sitting out front and waving and talking.
Good. Thank you for joining us, and it looks like it's going to be a beautiful sunset. All right, let's go to Brian DeLate. Oh wait, hold on, he's frozen.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
No,
so,
that's just a host computer.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm just joking. So I'm going to go ahead and take it over to Sam and Lynn. And I'm just going to kind of let you guys explain the business and everything and then start in. So probably I think what's going to happen is that Lynn is going to take over the screen, and she's got a little bit of a presentation, and we'll kind of follow along with that. And then probably like in about 25, 30 minutes, we'll all come back together and we'll do our drawing, and we'll be good. Let's see.
Almost
there we go.
There we go. So before we get started and dive into our presentation, I don't know where everybody is coming from. Some of you may be sitting in front of computers all day long. Some of you may be more active. Regardless, I just want to be able to check in with you. I'm going to share this screen now, and then we'll start our presentation from here, and we'll move around a little bit. But I'd like to just kind of hear from you. Yeah, sure. Perfect. So let's see here. Setting this up. Okay, I just want to on a scale, you feel free to maybe put, actually I'm going to make sure that I can see everybody's faces, but on a scale of 1 to 10, what's the combination of your physical and mental energy right now? 1 being like you're ready to hit the sack, or 10 being like I can do a complex math problem in my head and I'm ready to do 100 push-ups. Woo! So give me just your show of your fingers and let me see where you're all at right now. So 6.
I was going to say, Lynn, we can also use the chat feature as well, and people can save those at the end as well. But feel free to use that.
Okay. Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Maki. And so everybody, some people said 6. Cheryl, where are you at? You're a 6? Okay. A 7. Okay, perfect. All right. So let's try and all bring it up a little bit. Yes, I like Pete's. So it's all the toffee. So I'm going to bring up the energy a little bit here, and we're going to stand up and we're going to actually move around. So I'm going to have you push your chairs back. If you need, you can, basically you don't have to have like a whole lot of space, but basically we're going to start off, and you're going to either, depending on your physical level of activity comfort, you're just going to march in place or jog in place. And then pick up those knees up high. If you're marching in place, bring those knees up high, okay? So just move your arms side to side as well too. Dr. Sam's already
lost Jeremy.
I know.
Jeremy might have
He's like, enough of this. I can't do this. All right. So whatever rhythm I clap as you're jogging or moving, I want you to do the same thing. Good. Again. No one's clapping. I'm just kidding. I can see some of you clap. Perfect.
Everybody is on mute.
I know everybody's on mute.
Yeah.
Unless you can hear your own claps. And so now you're going to just take those arms up long, take those legs out wide. You can't see the view from here, but legs out wide. And then from here, your arms are up high. Clasp your hands together. And then from here, you're going to circle over down towards your right foot, circle around towards your left, and then come all the way back up again. And one more time around. Connect with the breath as you're moving through, circling up over. Now let's move to the opposite direction. Inhale as you lower down, and then exhale as you come up the opposite direction. One more time, circling around. Good. Now take those arms right behind your head. Clasp your hands are behind your head, and your legs are still out wide. Now squeeze the shoulder blades together as you let those elbows draw back a little bit more, and twist over to the right. Take a few deep breaths here as you hold this position, twisting to the right. And then exhale back to center. And inhale over to the opposite side. And exhale back to center. All right, you can come back now. Thank you so much. That was entertaining to watch, everybody.
I swear the whole thing, I just had to show it in my camera.
Especially with like the different backgrounds and stuff, it's like, oh my gosh, this is kind of dizzying.
I know, right? Cool. So hopefully, you know, just by moving around, excuse me, you notice just how your mind might feel more alert. You may be more energized, your body, and there's more circulation through your body and all that good stuff. So just little things that you can do already throughout the day, especially if you're sitting a lot, you're at a desk all day, just a good reminder to keep moving. And so we're going to go into some of the science behind that and why that's so important. So who the heck are we? Just a brief intro to myself. Obviously I'm Dr. Lynn, and my lovely assistant, actually, lovely partner in crime, actually, is Dr. Sam. And we practice together called Wild and Precious Optimal Living. We're both neurologically-based chiropractors, and we both have different personalities. We're both yin and yang, and he's like I like to describe him as my mountain, and I'm the lava. So I'm pretty fiery, and he's more the grounding person. So, Dr. Sam, anything else you want to add?
So yeah, and in the office, those personalities come out a lot because I'm like the office official super nerd, as geek out on anything and everything neurology and take it way too deep. And she's the one who's like, all right, let's bring it back to simplicity and let's make this relatable. So it works really well together.
Yep. So in this picture here, you see our son. His name's Rivers. He's actually 3 years old now, and he's really the driving force for what we do in our office and why we focus so much on the health and function of the nervous system. For those of you who've had kids yourself, or you have nieces or nephews or cousins, and you've seen babies grow up, they're just exploring the world, and it's been so much fun to see them develop and how their personalities are changing or how their personalities are showing up, emotional development. And so he's a driving force for all the things that we know, and some of the information that we share with you tonight really is coming from our own personal interest and passion and how we want to serve the community as well too. And so without further ado, we're going to talk a little bit more. So what do you think, what you think intelligence is? Immediately, you might be thinking a person who knows a lot, right? A person who perhaps can know just a lot of random information. And oftentimes we associate intelligence with how high their IQ scores are. And
how perfect their standardized test scores are.
Yes, exactly, right? And we see that throughout school, SATs, ACTs, GREs, things like that. Now, intelligence, we think it's just this linear number that actually never changes. But in reality, intelligence is way more than that. Reality is your intelligence is measured by your level of cognitive health. We're going to break down a little bit more information about what cognition is. There are so many different factors or subjects related to cognition, how well you're able to retain information short-term and long-term, how well you're able to understand verbal reasoning, understand words, how you're able to see differences in one scene compared to another, make comparisons, make deductions. All those are very different types of intelligence or cognition that measure towards your intelligence. And so it's not just an IQ score that is fixed in that sense then. It's that your nervous system or your cognition is so much more. In this particular study here, this is conducted by Cambridge brain neuroscientists. They published an article in this journal called Neuron, and they did a study where 45,000 people conducted a 12 cognitive task assessment, and it led them to realize that intelligence is not just one thing. There are at least 3 independent domains, from reasoning, short-term memory, and verbal ability. Obviously, those break down into further types of domains or categories, and they also realized that from the study that it is variable. It changes not only with age, but it also it varies with our quality of life and health. So this is just a summary of the brain regions that Cambridge Brain Sciences actually utilized in order to understand the different cognitive measures that people have that measure in terms of their abilities based on their current lifestyle and everything else. So on the left column here, these are just different games that people who participated in the study were able to play. And it's essentially these different games. If you've been on Lumosity, you might have seen something similar where you're playing games and it's actually developing certain neurological functions, but we're going to go into that a little bit more. And the center column here, you're going to see outcome measure. Essentially, what are these tasks measuring? And so you're measuring from visual spatial working memory. So your ability to understand where you're at in position and place, and at the same time, as you're balancing, you have a working memory of different tasks.
Sorry, distracting her with the chat while she's trying to talk.
Yeah, it's really great. Then there's also, excuse me, spatial short-term memory, to basically know, especially to know where you're placing things for a short period of time, like groceries, or as you're organizing the room, or going through files.
Your phone when you're on it.
Huh?
Your phone when you're on it.
Oh, yeah.
I lose my phone all the time when I'm talking on my phone.
Yep. So those are big. We might think that it's like, oh, that's just me. I always forget where I put my keys or where I put my phone, right? And the reality is there's actually something that's not connecting, or there's maybe weaker aspects of your brain that in those regions of the brain where that task is oriented, that's affecting that. So your working memory, your episodic memory. So for instance, episodic memory is where you're able to recall an incident that happened at your seventh birthday party, or being able to recall what you had for dinner 5 nights ago, things like that. So those are information that you can pull up. And mental rotation is ability to basically orient things. Like if you're looking at data and then being able to apply it in a different orientation, or in different especially if you're working more of a technical job, and you're doing some sort of task that requires you to see the details and then being able to orient it in a different way of presentation. That's also very important as well too. Or if you're navigating around, there's all sorts of different tasks, but on the right column, very far right column, related brain regions. Dr. Sam's going to go a little bit more about into all the different roles that the brain plays in different regions here. But just looking at on all these different tasks, and yet these are all distributed in very different brain regions. And let me see if I can go back to just this previous diagram here. This is a functional MRI. Oh, yeah. This is, thank you. This is the functional MRI. So in order for them to determine what type of tasks are related to different regions of the brain here, they're able to see these areas of the brain light up as a person's doing the task. So as you could see, it's not linear, there's not a consistent path. There's so many different variations based on the task. And obviously there's 12 here that they conducted, but you can imagine all the things that we do that require a mix of everything. There's a lot of complexity behind it. This is just another screen that shows more tasks that they measured, and focus is another big one as well too. So,
and I want to point out something at the bottom. So a really important piece of not only IQ but also neurological function is the ability to start something, but as well as the ability to stop. So the last one there that you can see, the task called double trouble, response inhibition. So being able to correctly interfere or filter out distracting information. So that would be someone like who maybe has ADHD that can't seem to filter out all the stuff that's happening around them, which I think most of us nowadays probably struggle with a little bit of that ADHD as we're trying to get something done for work, but then your phone pings and then you got to answer the email and then you get distracted because Facebook has a notification and then you're like, oh, hey, let me check my Instagram. And then 20 minutes later, you get back to work. So it's your brain's ability not only to start, but stop is really critical.
Yep. So as you can see, there's a whole different way of looking at intelligence when we're looking at this, right? The more skilled we are, the more healthier we are, the more the better cognitive health, then all these will also progress as well too. And so what's really fascinating is, well, I'm just going to play more games that's related to brain health. And so there's researchers that did studies on these, like on studies like using Lumosity to, hey, you know, doing a specific task. And what they found is for healthy people, research has found that commercial brain training does not boost cognitive performance. It only improves the task that you're practicing. So if you're playing a game over and over again, you score higher and higher, it doesn't necessarily mean that your cognitive health or your performance is going to be better overall for everything else that you're doing. It's really just for that task. So with that said, then what can we do, right? They also found then, obviously, you know, to our topic, lifestyle is a big factor. And tonight, obviously, we're going to focus more on just movement. But you already, for yourselves, when you think about exercise, you can type in the chat box if you want to, you know, for reasons why you exercise. And so, you know, some of us may be exercising because, you know, you want to lose weight. Okay, my dog, yes. So Emily Green's like, you know, we want to be able to, you know, spend time more social, more getting out or something. Or there's others for, yeah, more healthy. So healthy means what? Like heart health to prevent perhaps a disease, right? Perhaps it's preventing cardiovascular disease or diabetes. So we're just even being able to de-stress, right? But we don't necessarily think about exercising for brain health, cognitive health. So I like how your happy hormones, nature, pleasure, awesome. So we're seeing some great reasons why we're exercising. So now you have another big reason why you want to be able to exercise. So let me see here. Okay. So another question for you all. On a scale of 1 to 10, how physically active have you been since the pandemic? 1 being completely sedentary, so at least 6 hours sitting per day, or 10 being extremely active, less than 1 hour of sitting per day. And you can actually put this in the chat box here just so we could see. Some of us are putting 8. Okay, yeah. Where else is everybody at in terms of 5? Okay, so 7 or 8. Good. 4. Awesome. So we're seeing 2. Okay, yeah. So absolutely. So we have, you know, everybody is in different ranges, and our current, you know, our lifestyle before the COVID happened, before the shutdown, was very different for us, and our plans shifted, and, you know, how we're approaching work is very different. So one of the things to keep in mind is, for those of you who rated your activity lower than 6, or even for those of you who rated your activity higher, I want you to consider on days or on days when you're less active, or how you've been feeling lately. If you find yourself feeling like you're having a harder time focusing, even without distractions, or even with distractions, or if you're having a hard time recalling information or retain short-term details, all these different things, just noticing your level of activity and how you've been cognitively and being able to perform. So just being aware of that. Okay. So the point of this, you know, presentation tonight is to really emphasize that it's all interconnected. How healthy your brain function is, it has to do a lot with how well you're moving and how active you're staying in life. And then also it's how well your cognitive health performance is going to also depend on movement, how much activity you're putting in your day, how you're moving differently, and how healthy your brain function is, whether it's balanced or imbalanced. All that is going to also affect how you're moving and thinking as well too. So it's all interconnected. So, okay, so this is another great article. And one of the biggest things that Dr. Sam and I focus on in the office is we love working with adults and children who struggle with ADHD or ADD. We also work with kiddos who have high sensory processing disorders as well too. And what that means is essentially when we think about hypersensitivity or hyperactivity, a lot of times, you know, it's the inability to focus, right? There's a lot of impulsiveness behind some of the behavior. Perhaps there's a harder ability to stay on task or learn in school, or maybe on a job site as well too. And perhaps there may be more episodes of anxiety. So all these are really, when we think about the symptoms behind ADHD, we think about it, we actually look at it and saying, instead of looking at it as a diagnosis or as just the symptom itself, we're actually looking at, well, what's going on in the brain? Why isn't the brain communicating effectively? And how is this altering our cognition? How is this altering our behavior? And so we look at really what we like to think the source of the underlying reason for these types of conditions. So this is an article that we have come across, and it's a really great one, actually. And it's talking about emerging support for a role of exercise in attention deficit hyperactivity disorder intervention planning. Obviously, you know, this particular article refers more to kiddos. However, what's going on with kiddos is also going on with us as well too, as adults. It's just laden with different other development as well too. But with this particular article, it's pointing out the fact that intense aerobic exercise helps to enhance brain structure and function, and as such, it might be beneficial to children with ADHD. So if you can imagine, if it's beneficial with children with ADHD, it's definitely going to be beneficial for everybody else as well too, right? Now, there's further support in this particular article that physical exercise has powerful effects on function and structure and is one avenue by which neuro and cognitive development can be impacted over both the short term and longer term. So what that really means is physical exercise is going to be very beneficial for everybody in the short term and long term, right? And in helping and basically preventing any form of degeneration to the brain, or actually helping to develop a child's brain as well too. Now, physical exercise leads to upregulation of neurotrophic factors that regulate neurodevelopment, including the survival, growth, and differentiation of neurons, synaptogenesis, and myelination, and angiogenesis. These are essentially big words to describe the fact that exercise actually creates neuroplasticity. What neuroplasticity means is actually increasing new wirings in the brain, increasing blood flow, increasing,
keep going.
Okay, increasing blood flow and all those different things as well too. And then, so lots of great things. And then also physical exercise is protective against general cognitive decline in aging human population as well. So I just got the heads up from Emily. So with that said, why is the brain so important?
So in a nutshell, we're going to keep this. We got 5 minutes left. Why is exercise so important? So this very front part of the brain right here is called your frontal lobe. Arguably, it's the most important part of the brain because it's what makes us human. It's our judgment, it's our inhibition, it's our ability to focus, and it's the most important part for us as an adult. That part of the brain grows out of what's called the motor cortex. So in order to have a better, stronger brain, you need to move. You need to move in all kinds of different ways. In a nutshell, that's why it's important. Okay.
Yep.
So because movement drives the thinking part of your brain.
Yep. So ideas for how to move better include, we were going to do some exercise and we're not going to worry about that right now, but ideas to give you some ideas of how to move better. You want to be able to hike on different terrains, maybe take a dancing class or yoga, or even maybe bicycling, still weightlifting, resistant, all those different types of exercise that gives you some variety. Having variety is important, and training your body in different ways and different angles is also very important as well too. Now, other parts that you have to be mindful of is lifestyle. So movement isn't just one factor. How well are you eating? Are you eating wholesome foods? Are you sleeping? Are you having clean, healthy sleep hygiene before you go to bed? Meaning like you take your time to unwind, or are you watching the news and you're taking that to going to bed, taking that with you, right? So being very mindful about that. So what we do in the office is we maximize your cognitive, emotional, and physical health, and we get results. And the reason why we get results is we use a combination of functional neurology, which is essentially identifying imbalances in the brain, and we rehab those weaker areas, and we also combine it with very gentle chiropractic adjustments. So the technology that you see here are just some things. And how we are able to assess some of these aspects is looking at, we measure your progress through stress scans. So we use heart rate variance. Also, it helps us see how resilient is your nervous system. Another scan that we do, or assessment that we do, similar to what we basically were just describing at the beginning of the presentation, is your cognitive health. And we are able to, you can take those 12 assessments and we can grade you on that, and as well go through that. And then we rehab those weaker areas of the brain for those particular areas when you're in the office. And that helps to strengthen cognitive health as well too. And on top of that, we also identify hidden signs that affect your emotional state, your behavior, and your motor functions, and how you experience life. This is just a video that is Dr. Sam working with a kiddo who is really clumsy. They fall a lot, he falls a lot, and we also work with kiddos who have seizures as well too, and epilepsy. And anyways, long story short, we identify, instead of just looking at those symptoms, we're looking at what's going on in the brain. And oftentimes parents can't see these things because they don't know what to look for, and we're able to work with that. And we work with that the same way with adults too.
So I'll narrate this a little bit while what's going on while it's playing. But
sure,
in part of what's happening with the brain as it's growing and developing is you have these things called primitive reflexes. So like I said, your brain grows through movement. That first year of life, when we're all little babies, you can't move, right? So we have to have some kind of way to be able to grow and develop, and that's through these primitive reflexes. We're checking one here that's called an ATNR that should be gone. All these reflexes should be gone past the first year of life. Mm-hmm. This kid was about 5 going on to 6. He still has this here, which means he's got some developmental problems that need to be addressed and worked on in order for him to actually have his full health potential. So it's just another layer and piece that we're looking at in the office that is not being addressed in most other medical arenas.
Absolutely. And just to think, this is just a little kiddo, but literally today, we have a few practice members that come in and they're adults and experiencing chronic pain or anxiety, and they still have these retained primitive reflexes. For whatever reason, it may come back because of some sort of breakdown in the brain, or they were never addressed when they're younger. And honestly, like Dr. Sam was saying, this isn't necessarily something that conventional doctors look at.
And so why it's important. So probably looking behind us here is what I wrote this on the blackboard. Is it backwards or is it forwards for you guys?
Forwards.
It's forwards. Okay, good. Because on our screen, it's backwards. So the brain's really, really critical, important for being able to perceive what's going on around you in your environment, right? Mm-hmm. My perception, I'm looking at it saying, it looks backwards to me. So having a healthy brain to be able to perceive your environment appropriately and move accordingly is critical.
Mm-hmm. So there we go. So symptoms and conditions we help with include adults and children who struggle with ADD, ADHD symptoms, chronic neck and back pain, chronic fatigue or brain fog, anxiety and depression, PTSD, vertigo, balance and gait issues, postpartum recovery and depression. We always look to the health and function of the nervous system. And as your brain becomes more strengthened and rehabbed, then ideally your body can better adapt to the changes, to ever unexpected stressors in life, and you can better navigate through those challenges. And so, you know, we are super passionate about what we do and love what we do, and we really want to be able to extend it to you. So what I want to be able to encourage everyone to do, I know that this is a really new arena for us and how we're doing small business or how we're connecting with each other. So I want us to start supporting each other. And one way of doing that is following each other on Instagram or even Facebook. So do it now rather than later, is take your phone out, and in order for us to know who's following us, then we'll like you back too. Like, go to your Instagram and follow us at this handle, Wild Precious Optimal Living. If you do it now, then you won't forget it. And so once you like us, we'll do the same and follow you. If you don't use Instagram, that's cool. We also have Facebook. You can follow us also on Facebook, and you can find us through Wild and Precious Optimal Living. And we will be sure to also follow you on your Facebook page as well too. And on Facebook, I think sometimes it's not as clear of who it is. So if you can maybe even private message us, and we always love, you know, networking as well too. So maybe sending us a private message about, you know, getting together or something like that. That's still totally possible.
To answer Emily's question.
Oh yeah,
quick.
sure.
So some of the best brain activities to do while doing physical activity. So anything you can do in combination that's going to make you do like more than one thing at once. So like running on a treadmill is good. Running on a treadmill and then maybe every minute start doing some dips with that is even better.
Yeah.
Yoga is probably one of the closest things to a perfect exercise you can do, because it's balance, it's coordination, it's mindfulness, and then you get a little sweet meditation at the end of it. Those are fantastic. But anything you can do that, to be honest, is to play. Probably the most important thing. Instead of just exercising, you know, I got to go to the gym, I got to get my hour in so I can get back and go suffer and do something else. Go play is the most important thing.
Yep. All right. So now that you followed us and your phone's out, we have a gift for you, and that is to, you know, text us at 720-667-3650, and we would love to be able to offer and extend to you a complimentary consult plus a stress scan. So the stress scan is similar to the scan that I was describing earlier in terms of how adaptable is your nervous system right now. And it's a great way to just check in. And then that way you have more power towards deciding how you want to start shifting things around, and we can have a conversation about that. If you decide you want to be able to move forward with more of a comprehensive neurological evaluation for whatever things that's showing up for yourself, or maybe this could be something you can schedule for a family or friend as well too. You know, we're happy to extend a special WRBA discount as well too. And on top of that, the first 3 people that sends us a message will also receive a free Cambridge Brain Science cognitive assessment. So all those tasks that we had just talked about earlier, if you're curious where you're at and curious of how intelligent you are, you know, this is a $75 value assessment, and we will go over it with you during your consult as well too. So text us at with your name and number, or your name and your email address, and that way we can reach back out to you and schedule a specific time to come in and chat a little bit more, and we can go from there. Now, on top of that, I want to be able to offer this up, and I had run it past Maki and Emily as well too. Would love to be able to invite you for Saturday. We can do some social distancing and still have some good fun at the park, Anderson Park in Wheat Ridge, and where you can do WRBA members breath and yoga at 8:30 a.m. on Saturday morning. So this is before the sun is blaring too hot, and you know, we should have more details in terms of where in the park we'd be able to meet. Perhaps we'll meet in the parking lot and then traverse over and find a good lawn space to be able to settle down in. You know, the idea behind this is communication, social interaction, and also some movement and some mindfulness for your body as well too. So I'm not sure how we're going to distribute some of the information out. Text number again, sure. And
we'll definitely get it posted for an event and everything on the Wheat Ridge Facebook page and on our website and stuff. So I think, you know, we'll definitely be sharing it, and you guys, as long as you follow any one of us, then you will be able to see that.
Yeah, perfect. Yep. So here's the text again, text number, our phone number again, if you want to text us right now. It's 720-667-3650. And like we said, first 3 will also receive a complimentary Cambridge Brain Science assessment as well too. I think we have left, I don't know if we have time for Q&A. You know,
sure.
but
Yeah, go ahead. And I mean, if there's some questions and, you know, people can just ask them or type them into the chat box, then go for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just so guys, I'm just putting this in my calendar and hopefully everyone else's. Saturday, June 27th, 8:30, Anderson Park.
Yep.
Okay, great.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep. And then before we get off, I wanted to also see if everybody's comfortable in doing like a quick screenshot, like a screenshot of all of us, you know, just to, maybe we can post it on the Wheat Ridge Business Association page and our own personal social media or whatever it is, and just, you know, all our faces together and we're coming together.
Absolutely. I'm fine with it.
Yeah. So feel free to share if you're not comfortable. I'm going to go ahead and stop share just so we can see everybody's faces, and go ahead and close the chat screen. Does anybody have
We're not going to know if Brian's okay or not, because
I know, right? All right, so no questions. We're just going to go ahead and take a nice picture. So big smile, maybe, you know, stretching your arms or whatever, and we can go ahead and I'm just going to count to 3. 3, 2, 1, and yay! Perfect. Good. So awesome. And then Emily, I'm going to leave the rest to you to be able to lead.
Yeah, no, you're great. That was really great, you guys. And I think some of it, you know, a lot of this stuff sometimes goes over my head until I can really understand it and grasp it. And like knowing you over this period of time, I've gotten to learn some of these, you know, terminology and just why it's important. I mean, I have to say that I'm probably very fortunate in that I've gotten to be more active during the shutdown and during just the general, I think, you know, anxiety, anticipation than I was before. But I feel like for me, I'm a very seasonal person. So if it's cold out, I don't want to do anything. If it's nice out, I'm happy to go running and hiking and do whatever. So it's kind of coincided. But I do agree that, I mean, my, you know, just in general, how I feel and my ability to focus is so much better. I've also been doing puzzles a lot. And my boyfriend's finishing up a Taj Mahal puzzle that is driving us crazy. I think we've been working on it for a month now. But those to me, and that's kind of what I meant when I asked that question, like what are some other activities that I could do that wouldn't necessarily, I mean, I feel like physically I have my outlets, but what would be like other brain exercises? And one other thing, sorry, Lynn. So one of my concerns about this is Alzheimer's and dementia runs in my family. And so I'm really trying to like not have that happen, hopefully.
Yeah, that's really a good question. You know, we didn't get a chance to go through one of the other studies, but what they found is a combination of movement along with brain training for, you know, specific tasks is really important. So for instance, learning how to dance, that's a new hobby, taking up so that you're learning new steps and everything and learning to move your body, because as you're learning to dance, you're looking at, hey, 1 step this way, 2 step this way, all these different things. So you're also doing a lot of calculations, a lot of sequential tasks as well too, and following 1 step compared to the other and doing another. Another idea is to also learn a new instrument. So obviously, you know, playing an instrument or taking up a hobby that you've never done before, doing something different that gets you outside your comfort zone is always really fun as well too, and also very, very beneficial. And so what Dr. Sam was mentioning in terms of making sure you have fun, like if you've been meaning to do something but you haven't gotten around doing it, then now's the time to. You know, there's a lot of people offering lots of free online type of courses and classes and taking full advantage of that.
Yeah, I mean, in the basics, we test, you know, every kid on our push-ups, sit-ups, planks, and then bridges, because all those work towards a part of your brain that's really responsible for balance and coordination. So having, you know, core strength and stability is really, really important for brain health. So those are just basic to tell everybody to do.
Yeah, and then when we tell people about core work, I think a lot of people visualize doing like 100 sit-ups or something.
Yeah, or burpees, which I don't do. I hate burpees.
So
it's only 1,000 sit-ups.
Yes, but one of the biggest things is, because my background is in yoga and meditation as well too, is being very mindful about the type of core work you're doing. It might not necessarily always be beneficial, or might be straining your body in different ways, and it might be counterproductive, or you might not be strengthening the core as appropriately as you should. So so being very mindful, but planks are really good type of core work. Let's see here, sit-ups are really great, but you need to be very mindful of how you're doing them. And bridges are really good as well too. Yeah. Like we had mentioned, it ties back, if Pilates, yoga, all those are really great forms of exercise to incorporate. Okay. Even if it's, 15 minutes because you're not a fan of yoga, then that's okay too. But just something, because you're doing some balance work, right? So,
and something is better than nothing. I mean, I'll go run and I'll do 10 push-ups, and I may not feel like I'm doing a lot, but I feel really good after it because I know I've worked out something, and I've, so I would say if you guys, Lynn and Dr. Sam, if you guys want to share any links or anything, then feel free to, either on the chat, or I can send a follow-up email to everybody who's on this, and just anything maybe that even shows up. Maybe some of us don't know what a plank is, or, what's the best way to maximize your sit-up? Because I know, like, there's people who will do 100 sit-ups, but are they really getting what they should? Sure. So I'm happy to share that kind of link with everybody on this call as well.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, happy to be able to do that. Yeah, I can even do a quick video on just showing you how to do that, and we can go on YouTube.
That kind of stuff is really helpful, and it's just, I think, I mean, even like there's times that I do push-ups and I think I'm doing them great, and then my military neighbor across the street is like, you should be straighter, you should be more 90 degrees. And it's like, all right, well, I wasn't asking for your feedback anyways, but
Yeah, absolutely. And, do things that make you feel happy and have fun. Other things is, obviously we didn't talk about it, lifestyle factors is, and we can go into a host of different activities. Sorry, I'm like distracted with chat box. It's really hard. This is the cognitive health.
So have to juggle.
Yeah. So, making sure that, you are getting really great quality rest, sleep. If you're waking up a couple times a night, maybe a sign that you're not dropping into those deep delta sleep wave, deep delta brainwave states of sleep, or meditation may be really helpful as well too. If your mind is constantly restless and you're thinking a lot and you're distracted, or you're
doing. One thing that's really, I started, and I don't know if it just happened to be the timing, or if it was the pandemic, but I started, I got a subscription to Calm, which is an app from my parents, CALM. And at first it started out as like a story time thing at night, but I would get so into the story that I wouldn't fall asleep. Now what I find is I do the 10-minute meditation, 10-minute like pause meditation before I listen to any news, before I listen to any music. And sometimes I'll do that and it makes me not even want to listen to stuff. And I think that's really healthy. It's just like, I just focus on what they're saying. And I'm not always meditating, like I'm not always necessarily sitting, but I'm always very conscious of paying attention to what they're saying and, what the lesson is. And I think it's not a very expensive annual membership. And, I really have enjoyed that. So.
Yeah, that's really great. There's a lot of great apps out there.
My check from Calm will be coming in the mail this week. So.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of great apps like you just mentioned. In our office, we use BrainTap, which is a combination of visual and audio entrainment, where we use headset technology with lights and also the auditory, which is the guided visualizations and binaural beats and all sorts, just kind of giving you a 3D effect to be able to drop you into a really deep relaxed state. I also am happy to send out to everybody one of the recordings that I've recently done, and it's just a body scan meditation that you can do anytime during the day. And it's about 10, I have a few out there, but there's 10 to 15 minutes, and I'll send everybody one of the meditations where you can utilize before you go to bed or just in the middle of the day to unwind.
Yeah, that would be great. I mean, and you know, I think any of that kind of stuff is just start integrating it. If it doesn't work for you,
yeah,
in something else. But this is like you guys were saying, we're all, you know, figuring out what life looks like right now, and why not add something new and exciting into it, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah.
Cool. Well, I think maybe what I'll do is I'll just do our golden wheel drawing for our members to see if anybody wants to win $100, that maybe they can put towards one of these, you know, better living type, or possibly going to see Dr. Sam and Lynn. So, so let me go ahead and get this turned around. Give me just a second. And I don't know how this is going to work with my lovely Italy background. I think I'm just going to kind of hold. Yeah, no, that won't work. All right, give me 1 second to figure out how to turn the background off, unless anybody has any ideas.
Okay, well, Emily's doing that. Let me do some announcements. And next Wednesday, so things are starting to opening up, and we want to figure out the ways to ease back into in-person networking. And one of the baby steps that we're taking is that next Wednesday, which is Wednesday, June 24th, from 8 to 9 a.m. This is on the WRBA website event page too, but we're going to do a small coffee networking in a park at the Discovery Park, which is 38th and Kipling, right down the street from the rec center we usually meet. And you can bring your own coffee, or don't have to bring your coffee if you're not comfortable. And just get together, and it's limited to only 10 people. And then you need to pre-register from the website. So, but we'll just make sure we have masks, and I will have hand sanitizers for you guys that if you're not feeling comfortable. You know, let's just start with this small networking and then see, you know, how comfortable you are. And if this is popular, and we might, you know, do another one, and maybe have multiple groups of 10 in a separate location or something like that at the part of the park. But we just want to start, you know, some of our businesses really heavily rely on in-person networking, and we cannot stay at home forever. So
and we're not supposed to now. I mean, we're allowed to, you know, we're allowed to gather in groups of 10 or whatever. And, you know, we'll get to the point where we can, so it's a great way. And Lee, just so you know, this is something you'd be invited to as well. Again, like, we're just really, I think our organization is really open to, you know, doesn't matter if you're a cusper or not. You know, Arvada, Wheat Ridge, we understand Denver, everybody blends together. So I think it would be a great opportunity to kind of just get a sense of some of our other networking opportunities too.
I like that. That'd be great. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah.
So if you're interested, please register at wheatridgebiz.com. It is called Small Coffee Networking at a Park.
Maki, how many spots are left?
I have not checked today. I know there are two.
Is it tomorrow or is it next week?
Next Wednesday.
Okay, perfect.
We still got 1 week.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, good.
So, all right. Oh, and then also I wanted to remind you, since it's a really small group, you are welcome to put in your contact information in a chat box, so that we can also, instead of short of exchanging business cards, we can do it this way. And at the end of the meeting, if you look at the bottom right corner of the chat box, there's 3 dots. If you click on that, you are able to save the chat in a text format. So then you will have everybody's information.
Good.
Okay.
And one more announcement.
Yes.
Our speaker for next month is July 14th, which is Heather.
My birthday.
It is. Mine's the next day.
I know that.
Celebrate. Okay. So Heather Younger is an international speaker, trainer, and she'll be talking about transforming adversity into opportunity, which I think all of us, it will be fantastic. And you can invite your clients, you can invite whoever you want. It's free. She charges usually $7,500 to do a session for an organization like ours. I mean, not, because we're nonprofit, but, if she went in to do training. So she's working on her second book. And so anyways, we'll learn how to become more self-aware when feeling stuck in a place after facing with adversity or a big challenge after we exercise. Number 2 is how to walk through the reframing process. And 3 is how to add adversity as a springboard to pivot to move forward thinking. So I know we all probably have heard that 100 times, what are you doing to pivot? July 14th, Emily Green's birthday. It's on the website. Please register. And
it'll be a long day, I have a feeling. It's a Tuesday, which is my Chibo day. So I'll be glad to just be done by that day. But no, it sounds like a really good topic. And I feel like maybe, from what I've read about our speaker, it's going to be pretty pertinent to things happening right now too. So cool. Okay. Well, so I don't know how many of you know this or not. How do I switch? Just go all together. So I'm going to do our every member drawing. And so every month, basically at the beginning of the year, it starts at $100. And then every month we don't have a winner, which means you have to be present and you need to be a member. Then we up it. So it got to $500 last month. I don't know who won. I can't remember. Actually Chibo Meals won, which I was kind of embarrassed about. I'm actually donating $200 of that to IPI to feed COVID patients and family and workers at Lutheran. I just didn't really feel like I needed all that money. And I actually just got my SBA loan, which was more generous than I expected. So I was very pleased to have won it, but I also feel like I should give that back to our community. So I'm going to go ahead and use our golden wheel here, hoping you can kind of see it. And so everybody who is a paid and legit member is in here. So Lee, this is another reason, who knows, by the end of this year, it could be back up. I think the highest it's gotten was maybe 500.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so I'm just going to reach in. Hold on, a couple people fell out here. Okay, again, this is totally random. Cypher Automotive. All right, now, I'm sorry, Maki. As our president, you might need to make an executive decision. I don't know, if you guys know, but Don Cypher just passed away. I wonder if maybe we could just take that money and donate it to flowers or something for them. We can talk about it, but kind of ironic that Don is still with us even after he's passed. So that makes me really happy. And they're located right on 44th and Harlan. And both like Cypher Automotive are members and Cypher Specialties, which is TM and Troy, who are his son and daughter-in-law. So that kind of makes me feel like he's still watching over the WRBA. So
yeah, definitely. And TM and Troy had taken over Cypher Automotive as well. So they will stay open.
Yeah, they're very well known in the community, and kind of just, Don was such a staple, and it kind of came as a shock to some of us and stuff. So that's kind of sweet that he came up in our golden wheel.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think that's it. What do you guys have anything else you want to share really briefly? Any new stuff, any business opportunities, anyone you want to connect with?
Is Kate still on? Where'd you go, Kate?
I think so. I think she might have had to get off because usually
I think she's off.
Dinner.
They're having that parade next week.
Oh, yes.
At
the Lutheran.
The 24th, I think.
Okay.
Let's see. Let me look it up.
Is it on our calendar? Let me see. Oh boy.
It's on the events. Like if you go to the website and then if you look under all events, it's right there.
Okay. And that's for Lutheran, for all the workers.
There she is.
Tell us
Kate,
about the parade.
The parade.
I don't see it on here.
Oh, you're on mute.
You're muted.
Okay.
There you go.
Just so you know, it's not a parade. It's a caravan. Parades
Okay,
are,
sorry.
I don't use that word. But of course,
Bird, I can't hear you.
Whoa.
We found out about we found out that we can't use that word after we put the event out. So anyway, we are doing a celebrational caravan for Lutheran staff, for the community to come to Lutheran, decorate your car. Lutheran staff is going to stand out on site, and we're all going to stay on the Lutheran property and thank them, wave to them, honk, and celebrate all that they've done for the community. So that's on June 24th, and we'll be starting at 6 p.m. So Wednesday, the 24th.
Is it 6 or 6:30, Kate?
Oh, 6 o'clock. I think it starts at 6:30, but I think the
You probably need to be there to get set up and stuff. So
yeah, you got to
Okay.
get there. And you can ride your bike too. We just ask that if you do that, you stay with the group that you're with, maintain social distance, all of that. Masks are a great idea. Don't throw anything out of your car, that type of stuff. Candy, no candy.
This isn't trunk or treat, people.
No throwing.
Okay, cool. Anybody else got anything?
We're holding educational events every couple weeks. Everything from long-term care insurance, different stages of retirement, Social Security, the election coming up, and how it all relates to your finances. I, for some reason, don't have a chat, so I can't seem to. I think my compliance department probably disabled it because they can't track what I write. I would imagine that's probably what it is.
We wouldn't want you to say anything bad on this.
No, but you can find me on the Wheat Ridge Business Association website, and you can find my information there. If you want to reach out, I'm happy to send you guys invitations.
And if the company is okay, then you're welcome to share that to you can tag us on, so if you're creating something, it's hard for me to keep up with all the events that we need to post for each different business and everything. But if you tag us, or say that you're with us or something, then I can at least approve that pretty easily.
Okay.
And I don't know, Maki, how do you feel about, it's hard to update the website too. So it kind of depends which level of membership you have. But I would definitely say, keep sharing that stuff and get it out there, and our members will share it as they can. So.
Also, all of the members have access to, from your member dashboard, to be able to submit your event on the website. So you can post any of your events to the WRBA website events page. So you're welcome to do that as many times as you like.
Out my camera, so I'm kind of flaking out here.
Go crazy.
But yeah, maybe I can put there we go. Just put a more general event.
Yeah, or even if you want to combine, like you guys are doing them every 2 weeks, maybe make like a graphic or something that just shows like the next month, and then it just, it catches people's attention, and it's a little easier, I think on both of our ends to create stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, anything that's going on, this is all about, promoting our communities right now. So.
Great, thank you.
All right, well, it looks like Peter's going to get a suntan here pretty soon, so I think we better let him go. It looks very sunny there. Thank you guys so much for attending, and thank you, Lynn and Dr. Sam. I really appreciate you guys just sponsoring and helping kind of get us moving and thinking about kind of just trying out new things, because like I said, this is really the time to do that. And I know I've gotten to embrace that some, and it's been really revitalizing.
Yes, thank you so much for reaching out to us, and really great to be able to see everybody.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate letting me jump in. I'll look
of course, Lee, and just let Maki or I know if you have any questions on membership or anything, and all of it is on the website as well. So
yeah, absolutely. Thanks.
And
okay, it looks like we have everybody's information, so don't forget to press 3 dots at the bottom of your chat box, except for Jeremy. Apparently corporate America. And then you can save this, and then I'll probably send a follow-up email tomorrow. Lynn, are you guys interested in sharing your PowerPoint or no?
No, we're happy to share our PowerPoint, and I can.
If you could send it to me as a PDF, then I can attach that as well.
Okay, that sounds great. Awesome.
We also recorded this session as well, so we can post that if Lynn's okay with it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you, everybody. So this was our June FISMICS. I think we're still doing virtual in July, but we're gonna just have to play that one by ear. So, you know, we'll make it fun either way. So.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good to see you
See
all.
you guys.
Take
Bye.
care.
Bye.